Denise, that was a wonderful conversation, and it's so great that you and Pakama shared the same example, that you've been in business for so long, but that we actually have to work at improving our businesses. And one of the areas that is really critical is record keeping, and we have found that to be a weakness when we were doing our group work. So our objective here is, how can we, after this session, you must be able to, Nolokolo, put a simple system in place to keep your records. And what we're going to discuss is the 3 most popular record books, and you even have examples thereof, and to demonstrate the use of a simple bookkeeping tool so that we can see how much money comes in, how much go out, and do we actually have a surplus. Now, record keeping. The 2 top excuses that you have all given me, Zimasile, is, it is so difficult. I don't know what to do. And then it takes so much time. Every time I'm busy selling to a customer. Now you want me to do admin. Isn't that the thing? We just don't have the time. It is too confusing. It's too complicated. But part of it is really because we haven't decided what tool do we want to use to make our life easier. We're so focused on our product. We're so focused on our customer, but we're not focused on how am I keeping record of that. And today, we want to look at how do we keep record of those transactions. And the transaction we want to focus on, we're going to cover all our transactions in this Improve Your Business. But today, we are going to speak about cash transactions. Now, in it being COVID, many of us have not had the privilege of touching money. And please, I want it back afterwards. No? I shall be blessing you with coins. This can be the most dangerous transaction in our business because it's in and it's out. And if we do not have evidence of that anywhere, it's not like a check or a EFT that someone has put into your bank account. So we've actually got to look at how do we take care of those cash transactions. So what we spoke about is there's risk in this. They pay me before I can put it in my petty cash, I've put it in my pocket. So that risk we need to remove, and we've got to say, how do I create evidence? Now here we've got creating and collecting vouchers. What do you think the word voucher means? What does voucher mean? Yes, Nolokolo?
A voucher can be anything. It depends to me what is the voucher for. Maybe it's another type of controlling your cash.
Yes, yes.
Instead of taking cash out of the cash register, you give somebody a voucher so that you've got a record of that money going out. You give that one a record, a voucher, and that voucher will come back to you. Then
yes, when they buy again, yes, as a gift. Is that what you're speaking about?
Yes.
Now, I just want, for our record purposes, for collecting records, Denise, what do you think is another word for voucher? Can you explain voucher? Your gift voucher, wonderful example. What is another word for voucher?
I actually don't know. I think I'm going to get you help us.
Zimasile, help us.
Okay, I can say the voucher, even you can do it with this. As long as you write it down, you give that person.
Yes.
Like a check.
Yes.
Yes, that person is going to go and collect that money.
Yes.
So it's in the record.
So a voucher is evidence. You decide what that voucher must be. And this is what we're going to speak about. But we want to create evidence. We don't just want cash to come in and cash to go out with no evidence. Zimasile, you look guilty. I can hear it. So, yes.
How does a voucher, can't you just create fake evidence? Isn't it risky?
It's very risky. So, if we think of someone has just paid, Nolukolo sold her chickens. Here is a cash receipt book. She does not even need to put carbon in. She writes here to Zimasile, he paid. But she puts a stamp of her business. Do you understand how that brings the risk out? So how do we control? One of the ways you can create a voucher or evidence is through a receipt book. When you pay me, you want proof. I bought this water at Checkers today. This is my voucher. This is my evidence that I bought the 6. So do you see, they never gave me a receipt. They gave me this slip. And that is both are valid vouchers. Checkers' name is on here, Denise. So our evidence must have our business name on it. So that's a huge risk for cash transactions, that you do not create fake evidence. I like that. But we must ask for a receipt so that I can put this in my expenses. I must ask for this receipt when I pay for something cash. Then you can make a voucher. Denise said very validly, sometimes the transaction has happened already. So you can go back and you can make a voucher and you can ask someone else in the business to sign with you. Because we do not want irregular transactions to be reflected. All right. So are we good with creating and collecting? But can you see how quickly it can become a lot of things? So what we've got to look at is, where do we put it? So I would like to ask you, where do you put your vouchers? Where do you put all your evidence?
I do have a box that I put all my evidence, as you can see.
Yes.
It's written J Fishing.
Yes.
So I put all the J Fishing slips.
So she's a builder and she went and did some repairs for J Fishing. And all the evidence she put in here. So all the vouchers, all her evidence, if they've paid, she puts in here. But where does she put it? Just in file 13? No. Look, she's got a box. Remember, we get busy. So we must keep it in a safe place. So she files it, but she keeps it in a safe place. Then, you spoke about a receipt book. Do you just give out receipts or must they have numbers? Yes. Otherwise, we could go and make a duplicate. Yeah. Just like you said, Denise, I could go and get myself a duplicate. All right. Then give me another example here of where you do your filing. Denise, please, that'll be great.
It's maybe, yeah. I just, with all my slips, I've got this concertina file.
Yes.
And I do it on a monthly basis, though. So every month, I just shove everything in on a monthly basis.
Yes. So is that her consecutive? So your method is she files it monthly. So she can always go back and look at it in a monthly order. Now, so many things happen every day. Every day there are people coming in and going out. So what do we have to do? We've got to have a record of all our cash sales every day. Can I ask you, Zimasile, what is the first column? What is the first column?
The first column is item.
So that is what you sold. Okay? I jumped Nolokolo. What is the first thing you should do every day on your cash sales?
The date.
The date. The date is extremely important. Eunice, what's the second column?
It's quantity sold.
Quantity. How many? So that means I can keep control of my stock, Pakama. If you only have so many bricks and you've sold 100 bricks, you're going to, in your mind, you're going to say, on that day, I sold 100, best I go and count my stock. Do you see how this records doesn't just help us to keep record, but it tells me about my stock, Denise. You've only got so many cameras. And if you've sold cameras, you need to know if you need to purchase. And with COVID, it's going to take a very long time to get here. What is there? What is this? What does that say?
Net price.
Net price. Then we have to pay the government their share, value added tax. Then our sales, it's 50 Rand, and there's the total. Tell me who in the room does this on a daily basis? Let's be honest. Who does it on a daily basis?
Not on daily basis, because I don't sell on daily basis.
Yes.
Weekly, I'll do it. I can say twice a week I do those records, because I've got Wednesday and I've got Friday. So I record my sales up to Wednesday, then from Wednesday up to Friday.
Yes. I know Nolokolo quite well as a mentee. So she has an order book and she orders. And here's where she keeps record of the order book. But then on a Thursday and a Friday when she goes and sells, she gives people a cash receipt book as they pay for the chickens, or it could be your 5 kg yogurts that you sell. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So what's important is, if your business does not have a daily cash sale, do you have to do a daily? No. You have to do what is good for your business and what works in your business. Then, recording transactions. You have, in your exercise books, each one of you have an example. You actually have a template that is clear, so you can complete it. And what we would like to do, you see here that this is just a basic cash record. And Nolokolo, if you look, it started here on the 1st of 11th, but then they only had a cash transaction on the 10th. Do you see? They only had to record on the 10th. And then again, they had 3 on the 10th, and 1 on the 11th, and 1 on the 18th. But what is very important to see is that the cash that came in, and the cash Nolokolo that went out. And what is my balance? That is cash. Can you see that this is cash? And Denise, what is that? What does that say over there?
Bank.
Bank. So that means, is that cash with me, Pakama? No. It is my money in the bank. There you go. Then over here, we are reflecting our sales, what our material costs, and there, the value-added tax. Value-added tax never belongs to us. It belongs to government. After we've recapped on this session, we will be doing an exercise on each of your businesses and coming back to each other on a reflection of September that's just passed. All right? May I just ask, before we break away, can we confirm the following? Record keeping, Denise, is it time consuming?
Not as time consuming as I thought it was.
Why not? Because?
We've got tools that make it easy.
There you go. Is it complicated, Nolokolo?
No, it's not complicated. If you have tools, and again, if you keep in your records on daily basis or weekly basis, it becomes complicated if you have to do it month end.
For 3 months, yes. So let's confirm. Cash transactions can be easy, but we've got to create records. And what do we have to do? We've got to file it safely. You can even put it, she has a concertina file, all right? We want to file it safely. And now I'm going to ask you to please go and complete this exercise for the cash for our bank in your manuals. And remember, we want to improve our business. Thank you so much.